can you please do me a favor and explain this? What is that? T-Bone, is that you? I figured that's Adsy.
No, Adsy's not that eloquent. That's Namu.
Oh,
That's
it's
Namu would
Namu.
have done. I'm pretty sure
I think
Namu.
that might go viral, but seriously, man, I feel for Gabriel Medina. Any thoughts on this? I'm gonna read this as his Instagram post last Thursday, and this is his quote. Last Thursday in Maracías, I suffered a pectoral injury, and this morning I underwent a surgical procedure to begin treating this injury. Everything went well, and we were already looking at the recovery period and next steps. I was preparing and very focused for the 2025 season, but unfortunately, I will be out for a while. I will now focus on my recovery to come back stronger, end quote. Your thoughts, T-Bone?
Mate, devastating for the sport, isn't it? Devastating
Totally.
for Gabriel. He, I was so looking forward, for this year. Yeah, terrible, man. I mean, honestly, wish him a speedy recovery. The old tit muscle, hey, it's happened to a lot of people. That injury. I've actually had a friend who's had something similar. Yeah, it takes a while to rehab from it. So, yeah, mate, really shocked and yeah, it's a bummer. So yeah, definitely wish him a speedy recovery, and he'll be missed. He'll be missed, but there'll be a lot of surfers on tour licking their lips that he's not on tour this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, it sure opens up some opportunity. And T-Bone and I in the next video are going to pick our WSL Final 5 for 2025 and select our champions. And T-Bone, I know that both of us would have had Gabriel Medina in that list. And I know a lot of people, I even read somewhere somebody had put a bet on Gabriel Medina at the beginning of the season to win. And I had actually picked Gabriel Medina to win last year. I put money on him. I put money on him and Katie Simmers. Only one of those went well. But I really thought this could have been his year, especially with that schedule that we're looking at. I wanted to show you this, T-Bone.
Okay, in a tube.
So it was that bit right there. You can see he puts his arm back, and I think the tear happened there.
Just from doing a big air, hey? That's bizarre.
It's bizarre, and he's probably done that 1,000 times before. It's a tube. Let's watch this again. Can we watch it again?
Initially, I thought he might have injured himself doing some exercise, but
that's what I thought when I first read that, T-Bone.
Just surfing a wave and he does a big air. That's
we're gonna move
really
on.
Unfortunate, man.
Yeah, I want to watch it again. We're gonna move on. It's a whole reset. But
yeah,
so
I'll give you some quick stats. I'm not sure if you got a stat slide on Gabriel.
No, please do.
14 years on tour, 123 events, 472 heats surfed, 313 heat wins, 356 excellent waves, 18 perfect tens, 3 world titles. I mean, he's a legend of the sport, and
certainly.
I know we're going to move on, but I was just thinking about some of my favourite Medina moments. Gabe at Chopes, when he had that semi-final with John Joh, that final with Kelly. Another favourite final was that one in J-Bay in 2019 when him and Italo were going ham on their backhand. It was just insane. And the one funniest moment is remember when he dropped in on Slater at Pipe and Slater gave the old chucker?
Yeah.
That was the most epic photo when Slater threw the double chucker when Gabby dropped in on him. That was funny. But yeah,
his competitive success cannot be overstated. His domination of Tahiti and Teopu, and I would say barreling reef waves in general, he just plays with it. His
yeah.
ability to get into the tube and the speed he generates, his read on waves, it's really a loss to us as fans not to have him this year, especially with his schedule that we have. And that brings up the next topic, T-Bone. I want to show you what the doctor said. Here's his quote. Quote, "The surgery was successful and we were able to rebuild the tendon appropriately after the initial period of recovery. Gabriel will begin intensive physiotherapy sessions. He should be fit to return training between 4 to 6 months and competitions between 6 and 8 months." And that's from his doctor, Dr. Breno Shore. T-Bone, the reason why that's so important is because of what we're going to talk about next. But you can see he's got a bandage in that picture. And for those in the podcast, it doesn't look like a very intrusive surgery. There's a bandage on his shoulder where his pec is, the upper part of his pectoral muscle. And I guess the tendon that connects it had been torn, so it's been repaired. And I did a little bit of research on it, and this 4 to 6 months, 6 to 8 months sort of time frame is correct from what I've heard from others. And why is that important? That is important because there's wild cards out there, and who's going to take his place? And you've got two people. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, well, obviously it's Al Cleland Jr. And how stoked are we? I love me some Al Cleland Jr. And he's the next one in line in the CS. But as it turns out, that is not the case, dude.
How does that work?
So I'm going to try to explain it in WSL formula math, which is Al Cleland Jr. and enter Ian Gentil. So how this works is last year in the cut, those that were left that didn't make the cut, which would include Sammy Pupo. Remember, Sammy Pupo did not make the cut at the last second because of a strange win by Seth Moniz. And then behind him was Ian Gentil. So since Sammy Pupo made it through the CS into the CT, Ian Gentil is next in line. So why is that important? That's important because if Gabriel Medina is out for the entire season, the wild card goes to Al Cleland Jr. If Gabriel Medina is only out for a part of the season, then it goes to Ian Gentil. So it's very complicated, and I don't know how they're going to translate this. My question to all of you out there is, who do you want to see on the CT? Who do you think deserves it? And it's a hard choice for me. I love Ian Gentil surfing. I really wanted the guy back on tour. But at the same time, dude, Al Cleland Jr. has such a fresh approach, is a monster, whether it's huge or it's, remember, he won Huntington last year, didn't he? Wait, a runner-up.
Yeah,
wait, I think he won. Yeah, so Huntington, dude, at the U.S. Open, the guy was ripping 2-foot waves, but he also, was just in the Vans Pipe Masters going switchfoot, just playing with it. So it's like, I don't know who I like more. I would love to see Al Cleland get it, but also like Ian Gentil. So that kind of leaves the power in Gabriel Medina's hands. Gabriel Medina gets to say, well, I'm out for the season, guys. Or he's got to say, I'm going to try to come back, which would be the nod for Ian Gentil. I hope I've explained that well enough.
No, you have, mate. It doesn't make sense. I mean, Gabe's going to be out for the season. So, like, I would have thought that the next person in line in the challenger rankings would get the automatic wild card.
That makes sense to me too. That makes sense to me too. And I would think that's what my default was, that, hey, Al Cleland Jr. is getting in there. I'm kind of stoked for him. But I want to give you this thought, T-Bone. 6 to 8 months, let's say it's in that time frame. that kind of lands him right into Chopu. That lands him. He's set up to make an appearance at Chopes, and that could be a goal for him.
What are you saying, dude? Well, thing is, dude, he's not going to qualify for the finals.
No, no, he cannot. They can't give him a wild card in the finals, but they could give him a wild card into Teopo. And
yeah, who knows, man?
Interesting call, and I've heard that the WSL is going to make the call as soon as tomorrow.
Okay.
To get these guys ready. So this might be old news by the time this comes out, but it's certainly controversial, and it's not the first time that the WSL has made controversial wild card calls.
Kelly, mate. Kelly could be the wild card.
Dude, I saw your comment on our Discord, and I told you that my formula is Kelly minus Hedgehog plus Sally Fitzgibbons divided by outer known. 10% of Seth Moniz equals Kelly all the way. And that's the kind of math that we're used to in the WSL. Who knows what they're going to come up with? There's oftentimes no rhyme or reason. But
Mick Fanning.
Mick Fanning.
Might be coming to come back.
Yeah, let's pick somebody to go into Tahiti. We're going to talk more about all of this. Tell us what you think in the comments below. T-Bone, our next video, which you can click now on the screen, we're going to talk about our WSL Final Five and who we pick as champions. I can't wait to get into it, T-Bone.
Let's go, mate.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you on the next one. You.